baby. Turning it on.
You just zoom too.
Turning on the zoom. There we go.
Oh, is that speaker still on?
I had turned it down.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it is off.
Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by reminding you to check out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. CaddyshackIL.org. Save a life or 9. You can find us at jacobv.com. That's JACOBVI.com. Patreon.com/JacobV with a VI. There you can find ways to support the show, episodes of the podcast, clips of the show on all of your social platforms. We're on X more than ever. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. The clips go all over the place. Most of you are going to be seeing the episode in clip form. It's okay. Most of it will be out there that way. The only way to support this show financially is patreon.com/JacobV. There's hundreds now. Exclusive posts, live concert films I've produced and whatnot, and exclusive music from us and me and whatnot. So lock in. Good. I just got a text message if you heard that. Relics is out everywhere now. I do a solo single not very often, and I have a new one, and it's got an acoustic version and a remix and a video that you should check out. Relics by Jacob V on all platforms. Sounds really good on Apple Music, which is lossless quality, and I've been enjoying. But now
what
apparently
is lossless quality?
Spotify's going to do it now. Also,
what is that?
So what used to be on a CD was the wave audio, the full uncompressed master file of the audio. So it was digital, but it was a lot bigger, about 10 times larger of a file than an MP3.
Sure.
MP3s are smaller, and Spotify for a long time will only accept MP3s. The audio version of this show is always an MP3 because my aggregator won't send it to Spotify unless it's an MP3, which is fine for a podcast especially.
Sure. Yeah.
But some music, especially if you know something about how the music was produced and you know it's supposed to sound really good, definitely is noticeably better in lossless quality, which is also what you upload to Bandcamp as an artist. And so if you're streaming in Bandcamp, which is actually not that hard now, the new version of the Bandcamp app, there's one album I have there that I can't find on anything else by this guy that used to be around here. And listen to that the other day. Lossless quality, which is better.
Is that like Tidal? Like you can do like max resolution?
Tidal, yeah, was kind of the first one.
So basically you can do max resolution.
Max res,
as you listen to audio and stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a class where I had to like download Tidal to be able to listen to the full
exactly. And now they're kind of catching up. And it makes sense naturally because the bandwidth is always expanding for video content. So audio is so much smaller than that.
Yeah.
That upgrading from even a high quality MP3 to the full quality WAV file makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's easier than ever. That's why recording audio on computers is not as hard as it used to be. Things used to, crash and shit all the time because it used to be a lot more percentage of the possible bandwidth. But now that computers can do video, the audio is not as big of a deal. So Look into that. You probably have access to lossless quality on some of your platforms. That's a good idea. Blinded by Stereo is a great example of a band that sounds really good in lossless quality. We have a new vinyl record coming out, 1017. It's a 10-inch EP. We're going to be at the Duck Room that night. The Duck Room is doing shows again. The format's a little different behind the scenes, but it's the experience you know and love, and I hear they've resolved some of the smell.
Oh, good.
It kind of sometimes would smell like a piss dungeon.
Mm-hmm. At what place again?
The Blueberry Hill, the Duck Room.
Oh, sure, yeah.
At the Duck Room.
It's dank.
But I hear it got some nice polishing. It was closed for several months, and it's back.
Good.
And
They cleaned between the
1017 new record, Blinded by Stereo at the Duck Room. Kits Row, we had a great time at Free For All. Free For All could not have been better weather.
Oh my God, it was one of the best days of this year.
You know what I would have done if I had been involved? I would have just had somebody standing on each of those corners between the two rows of stages, just selling drinks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I had to leave one place to go get a Red Bull at another venue.
Yeah, missed opportunity. But next year, I would expect there to be food and drink, because I had $40 worth of Pappies in my car by myself.
Yeah. We went down to the Fountain on Locust, and that was.
What did you have there?
I had the grilled cheese. It was boasted as Missouri's best grilled cheese, and it was made. I can't tell you like what type of cheese, but there was an orange cream cheese on it with I think it was like a cheddar cheese as well, but it also had Fuji apples. I'm like, what are we doing here?
No, apples. With
but
cheese
yes, no.
Yeah. That's from the fondue.
I don't usually step outside the box, but it said. The best in Missouri.
I always trust a bitch
and
on a grilled cheese.
It was pretty good.
Bacon?
I got ham on it. The bacon was not an option. It was ham or turkey. Actually, no, I got turkey because I'm trying to keep it lean. But
I don't think we're fat because of ham.
No, we're not. I'm just trying to get that protein.
Did you see what
There's
I found?
There's more protein in turkey than... Where did you find that at? Cigarettes?
Camel Wide Menthol.
How old is that T-shirt?
They're back. T-shirt?
I thought you pulled them out of your pocket.
No, I just bought these.
Oh.
Because I saw them, and I thought these were discontinued long ago. I didn't think
Camel Wides?
Camel Wides.
Yeah.
And specifically, I like the menthol.
Are we picking up a new habit, or were just excited to see
I got them in case I need to try to get off the vaping. Because I'm kind of a vape hog. So if we're going to abandon the vapor wave, then I always said this is what would take me back.
Yeah.
And so I had to get them.
Of course.
But they weren't even in the display. It was there was one box of them open and half empty on top of the thing. And I said, "Are those Camel Wide Menthols?" He said, "I think so." And I said, "I have to have a pack of those."
Yeah.
So,
smoking's back, baby.
If that's the case, these are not open.
Yeah.
But
it was like doomsday cigarettes. It was what it feels like.
This would be the one.
Yeah, that would be the one.
You could get through a whole apocalypse on a pack of these. Mm-hmm. Why were we talking about that?
You brought it up. You brought up the cigarettes.
Because it was such a beautiful day.
Oh, it was such a beautiful
at Free For All last weekend.
I can't tell you.
I'm so proud
how good
that
it was.
that people actually came out. You heard me talk about this on our last episode. I played to full rooms, full crowds of people. There were plenty of people walking around. I went to check out other people's sets, and I saw tons of people just in all the spaces looking to see stuff. And I'm sure Sunday was probably a little slower, but I think it was a very successful first draft of this version of this event. I hope we get to do it again. I got my free artist pass to Maddie this weekend.
That's amazing.
So I'm hoping I can check some of that out.
You got to see
Music at the
Patti
Intersection. Everyone say thank you, Kranzberg Arts Foundation.
Thank you, Kranzberg Arts Foundation.
Not a sponsor, but we had a great weekend on their dime.
Yeah, they sponsored that weekend.
They sponsored that weekend. They're sponsoring this coming weekend, and I'm sure it was their idea to give me a free artist pass to Maddie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
No Antics, new music leaking from them all of the time. Stay tuned. They're going to have some shows this fall coming up, and they had a very successful excursion. Their August tour, I was just debriefing with them on some of just the business details of how everything went down, and it looks like they had a really good time, and people were kind to them. So,
nice.
Praise God. Kirkos is hitting the road. If you're a Patreon member, you'll recognize the band Secret Formula, Friends of Kirkos, and I do some events with them sometimes. And they're hitting the road together. They're going to 3 different cities. I think they're doing Marshmallow here, and I think they're going to Kansas City, and I think they're going to Birmingham Alabama, maybe. I made that up. They go to those places a lot, but they're doing a trio of dates on the road with Secret Formula. So follow Kirkos on the socials. They're always a good time, especially if you enjoy a psychedelic 100% live rock and roll experience. Okay. Charlie Kirk has been assassinated in Utah.
Yes.
And we can't avoid the topic. It's so on everyone's minds still. It was just a couple of days ago. And they finally apprehended the actual suspect. There was a couple of people detained who turned out not to be the alleged shooter. It seems like they have the shooter in custody. The thing that's upsetting to me is I didn't get to opt in to seeing it over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, I saw it right after it happened and was immediately like, there's no way that's real. And then I kept seeing it and kept seeing it. And then it was real. And obviously, in case you can't tell, we're kind of left-leaning a lot of the time around here on a lot of issues.
A lot. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I remember Charlie saying, and I didn't like the things he was saying, and I didn't like the way he was saying them to people that were younger and less, successful than him. And but I feel this is how I was comparing it to you a second ago, that very similar to when the U.S. military invaded Pakistan secretly to murder Osama bin Laden.
Huge comparison.
And I'm not even comparing them as equals. I don't even think, they would have agreed on a lot of things. But it had been long enough since 9/11 that there were younger people who were going to say, who did we kill? And we'd have to explain, okay, so there was this guy and he did this thing and it was really terrible. And then we couldn't find him for 1,000 years. And now that you know who he is, we shot him in the face. I don't love, because I've been in education this whole time. So if a young child asks me, what is everyone talking about? Who killed who? I have to explain a murder, a complex political assassination in its own right.
Yeah, but you get to explain two different experiences as what led us to those.
That's the thing too. Is I don't even know that Charlie Kirk was sexually assaulting anybody. I don't need. There's there's none of this dirt. It's not. He certainly, I don't think, killed anyone.
No,
and I don't think he's been in a lot of scandals where he's been accused of any kind of abuse. So the escalation in this way, to actually execute him like that in front of people, I'm really was not. It's really upsetting,
not warranted, and it wasn't the right thing to do.
And I've always been a proponent for the freedom of the internet. However, we got to be able to not circulate. It's actual murder so immediately. It was the body was not cold yet, and it was already on my phone.
It was escalated to a proportion that it didn't need to be. It was.
Well, and it just brings out the ugliest stuff in people, too, because it's not consequential in the terms of actual political function. He wasn't an elected official. So it just radicalizes and polarizes people. Yeah. And, I mean, there's no correct thing to say other than...
I wanted to see him continue to get burned by people.
That's the thing.
I
was talking to my wife about this after this happened, because it was just really upsetting for her to have to, because people are ugly when somebody they disagree with meets misfortune, right? People get ugly about it. And that comes from a place of hurt, and they feel like they've been wronged or marginalized by people that believe that stuff. But it's just ugly.
Yes.
Just for the first sentence to be, as if you're in favor of a murder.
Yeah.
It's just tacky.
Yeah.
It's not cool. And, it also is an interesting case because it doesn't necessarily apply the same way. There was one shot fired. It was a bolt-action weapon as opposed to a semi-automatic or fully automatic weapon we see in a mass shooting event a lot of the time. So the arguments, are kind of, it's not necessarily to politicize some of those details because they don't necessarily apply the same way. And it's also a tragedy because he was so young. Like you said, I was talking to Keenan about this. If in a post-apocalyptic society, such as this, if Keenan and I were in charge of like a woodland village of survivors, right? We would have to carry out some justice on occasion. As the leadership, if somebody did something crazy, there would have to be some justice.
Yeah.
But we're not executing those people. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch The Walking Dead, I would put Negan in the jail like they did.
Yeah.
You don't just kill people because you don't get to carry them into even your own victory that way.
Yeah,
Compared to a youth sport, you don't win a sport by beating up the other children.
Right.
Even if it's touch football or something. You know what I mean? There's a fine line between necessary contact and abuse.
There's a sportsperson agreement of that we're playing the game together, and you can't play and win the game if you're all not working together.
And there has to be somebody that survives to play the game again with you later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my problem with the Hunger Games. It's like, so now you just got to kill a whole bunch of strangers next year? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Laser tag. Extreme laser tag for food.
Looking forward to the Hunger Games 2027.
Yeah. I think America, if the world turned into that, America would have to be District 1. Otherwise, we're fucked.
Yeah.
It could be the United Arab Emirates.
Sure. Yeah, because it is the richest. Is it not?
So we could be like District 3 or 4 by those metrics.
Yeah. We're definitely going to want to push for District 1, and that may send it into a war just over that argument.
Just the war for the Hunger Game districting. It's the zoning war.
The zoning
that
war.
and this is the prequel I'm pitching to Suzanne Collins. Is that her name?
Not sure.
And I could totally be making up that name. I think
I'm going to look it up.
And is a prequel where we have to decide which districts are which district. We have to fight about it.
Suzanne Collins.
Listen, I am a librarian now, so
Yeah.
NBD.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. I have so many thoughts. It's hard to.
And we're in a very conspiratorial time as well, so nobody really has anything productive to say that anyone wants to hear.
Yeah.
The stuff that I was just thinking about this, say whatever you want about people like Charlie Kirk or Tucker Carlson or Ben Shapiro. We only know about them, though, because they can survive in their chosen business long enough to maintain an audience to where we have to acknowledge them at some point, right? So, it's like if everyone watched Oprah every day when Oprah was on, but then everyone acted like they hated Oprah. I'm like, wait a minute. But with the numbers say everyone is watching Oprah. But the only thing you hear is that people hate Oprah. Joe Rogan is like that now.
Joe Rogan.
Everyone knows and talks about things that happen on that show, but nobody claims to watch it, and everyone tells you how bad it is. I also find I can't find it. There's 100 things that YouTube wants me to see before I see even a clip from Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Something's going on.
That's interesting. You're shadow banned from Joe Rogan.
And the episode that really started my love of podcasts again after the initial couple I had listened to before got taken down when Rogan went to Spotify. It was one of the Alex Jones episodes. It was like 4 hours. It was insane.
4 hours.
Yeah, it's wild. Now you got to listen to it on SoundCloud. Like, we're in
Jeez.
Nepal. Have you seen what's going on in Nepal?
No. Oh, did they just have a government overturn or something like that? Yeah. Was it a revolution or was it a push out?
They're very specific. It's very specifically young people who were upset about certain conditions, and then they geo-blocked social media, the government did, and so then they started burning all the buildings down, and the prime minister resigned. He unblocked the social media. They killed somebody's wife. They chased the finance minister down in a river and beat the shit out of him. And literally that whole Parliament building, that clip you keep seeing is...
I have not seen that clip, but I just saw that there has been several countries...
Huge building that's...
Governments overturned.
The Nepali Parliament building, and they burnt the whole thing.
Wow.
Torched it. It looked like when that girl from TLC... I turned into RFK Jr. for a minute. It reminds me of that time that TLC, one of the girls burnt her house down. And it was real big, and it was on fire. Is exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then this was interesting. They started to pool together and elected a prospect for prime minister themselves on Discord. Mm-hmm. And it was a member of the courts or something that was in office during the fall of the monarchy there. I read all this today. So Nepal used to have a monarchy that fell in the 90s, and they built their democracy then. And one of the key figures in that, allegedly, was elected by the young people of Nepal on Discord. And he is now meeting with the prime minister's team, who just resigned, to plan out a transition and a proper election. Mm-hmm. So crazy.
Crazy.
Really crazy.
Not too... I mean, it's not necessarily crazy because...
Well,
it was like...
I don't know if this is true, but I saw one thing that said it was the Nepali, minister of corruption, anti-corruption or whatever, inspector guy, and his house looked like a cathedral. It was big and marble and crazy. Mm-hmm. So... that seems to be the narrative, is that there was, a corrupt elderly government and the young people are discontent.
Yes.
Which I understand. We got to be careful. And you got to pray for discernment.
Discernment. I'm going to have to look that one up.
You don't know discernment?
I don't know. I feel like I've done this before, but it just doesn't stay.
Discernment is your own independent ability to decide the quality of multiple things in front of you, right? So in the Bible, right, you are told to pray for discernment so that when you're out on your own in the world, you can decide between things that are of God and things that are not.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess I do have trouble with discernment in certain cases of my life.
Imagine if you just answered every call on your phone. Yeah. But you didn't have discernment. What kind of shenanigans would you... This is a Jim Carrey movie where he has to say yes to everything, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you answered every spam call on your phone. What kind of business would you get yourself into if you didn't have money. Discernment? You'd have to decide at some point that, hey, wait a minute, this isn't good for me to answer all these calls and to talk to all these people that want to sign me up for things that don't exist.
Yeah. Learn something new today.
Revolution in Nepal, obviously, I guess we could call this political violence here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Which I'm not for.
And not for political violence.
Not for that at all. Local news from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Last year's Special School District of St. Louis said earlier they plan to relocate 36 of their service professionals from South and West County schools to North County schools. 19 of them then quit or retired.
Nice. So they're trying to bring some help from other places to North County. Is that what's happening?
In St. Louis, this will be, if you're not from St. Louis, you may not understand that. So every state has special education requirements. In St. Louis, we have a thing where we have a centralized district of professionals who are all, trained and routed through Special School District of St. Louis to then be those professionals in the schools where all the kids are, right? So if a kid has a requirement for services because of a diagnosis or a challenge or just an identified plan to their education experience, there's professionals that are assigned to them, and they're just like other teachers, but they work for Special School District because they make sure that those kids get all the things they need. Well, you have to move some of those people around sometimes as enrollment numbers change year after year. And I work in North St. Louis County. And St. Louis is, I always immediately think, historically very segregated between North and South. So when you tell me that you have extra SSD professionals in South and West County where, more Caucasian people live, and you don't have enough of them in North County where it's predominantly Black and Latino, that, you got to move those people around. And then when you go to do that, half of them quit.
Yeah, that's scary. I would love to know the reasons.
Well, the only person the St. Louis Post-Dispatch quoted that wasn't behind the paywall was a lady who said, well, I want to work where I want to work. And then explained that it was going to double her commute.
Yeah. That is,
and my commute sucks. St. Louis is an east-west town. It is not a north-south town. It is not designed for you to go north to south efficiently. And it used to be designed that way on purpose, and it kind of feels like it must still be, because I have to go from my lovely home here in the Southampton of St. Louis all the way past the arch that my great-grandfather built, all the way up 70 through North City, and then I get to North St. Louis County, and I get off of 70, and I'm approaching the community that I serve during the week and whatnot. And I do that. I mean, it's as a part of my own social justice, and my vision for my career was always to push into the communities that my ancestors would have avoided, right? One branch of my family, fled Spanish Lake because of integration after, after Pruitt-Igoe was demolished. So there's, a history of this white flight in branches of my family. It's a part of St. Louis's identity. But, and I think about this, there has to be a way to force education services to improve, to be more equal. My education experience, once we moved to Kirkwood, was of a quality that, like, all of my needs were being met, and it was sort of, it felt like a priority to keep me being somewhat successful in school in spite of all of my challenges at the time.
Yeah.
And I guess I thought at the time that was normal. And it's not. The level of incompetence and sort of just flagrant disregard for what's actually required that happens in a lot of these schools in these struggling areas that are always, struggling to maintain or retain teachers. It was really bad. And it's probably worse than ever because we have less certified professionals per building than ever because of the teacher shortage. And everyone in my career field that works, like central office will tell you the teacher shortage is never going to get better. We're never going to have a surplus of teachers again for a generation at least.
Right. Because it's not desirable. It's not.
I felt like there were other people studying it when I was studying it. I don't know what those people are doing.
Probably have corporate jobs that pay better.
You're saying I should be getting paid better?
Yes, I am saying you should be getting paid better.
I agree. Lion's Choice, send the check. So in some states, we have things called theft of service laws, where if you're providing a public service, you can't just ghost your job because you're then deciding outside of the parameters of your employment agreement. Outside of the parameters of your employment agreement, you're deciding that, I'm just going to not provide those services that I'm being employed by the public to provide for people that need them. Right? In-home medical professionals, first responders, things like this have some of those applicable laws that way. Now, I would be the first to bitch if there was a law that told me I had to keep doing a job I didn't want to do. But to just report that half of your SSD teachers quit their jobs because they didn't want to move locations and to not address the bigger problem is not going to allow the problem to get any better.
Yeah.
Because these are nice jobs with benefits You know, I mean, really typical working hours. You can have a really decent life being a public educator in St. Louis County, right? And SSD provides some of our most essential services. The primary reason to still send your kid to public school, I discover time and time again, is if they require, or you even suspect that they would require any of those services at any point, you want them to be in a public school where it's mandated that they have to get those. If you discover at 11 years old that your son is dyslexic, you want to make sure he's in a place that has to do something about it.
Sure.
Because if he's at probably where you went, there's not that mandate. Right?
No.
Because a faith-based private school doesn't have to, you know, do those same things.
Yeah.
And I also really love the idea of sending my own baby to a private school for a lot of reasons. But it's just a different set of needs depending on what you need. So last week we talked about we need referees. We also apparently need teachers more than ever, not just where I work, all over town, probably the country. And they never have you work on Christmas Eve. You're always off Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I can't say that about retail.
The reason I didn't drop out of college to just play music and work at Guitar Center was because of my first Christmas Eve there. I think I did 10 hours in guitars on Christmas Eve. And my parents are divorced, so I usually have plans Christmas Eve. I got to pack that whole week.
Yeah.
So, but that's when I knew, you know what, maybe ending up just being a public school teacher won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, you can spread your life out
because I can,
more.
you know, I get Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
Saturday, Sundays, my
Sunday.
evenings. I'm always off work before Keenan, so I get to pick up the baby and whatnot. Not today because she was over there, so I don't.
Yeah.
But back to what we were talking about. I don't know the solution, but it really upsets me that of all these, you know, nice, capable, intelligent, mostly white people that I went to college with, I don't see any of them at work with me, where we need teachers all the time. You know what I mean? And I mean on a mass scale. I don't mean my immediate circle of friends.
Sure, yeah.
As much as just, you know, there were dozens upon dozens of us.
Even the people that you went through the whole program to even like
And
have
there's
the, have
tons of
the
people I met in the
certification.
field since then that are gone too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what it is that we allow it, I guess, to burn people out so much.
Yeah. That's me.
Oh,
Making that sound.
I was like, what?
I was trying to find my
I only have one
chips,
ear in,
yeah.
so I thought somebody was jiggling. I thought the cats had my keys
There's over there
because
playing.
it's only on one side. But that's the thing with schools is we either have to take away the mandate that requires that people send their kids to school and requires all of these things that we obviously can't provide, or we have to come up with a radical solution to filling in those gaps. Because unless you're in a really nice neighborhood, the kids at your local public school are not getting everything they need. I'd bet money.
I'd bet money on that.
And it gets more and more extra, it's astronomically expensive to live in those places. I mean, if I was school age now, we couldn't have afforded to live or stay where we lived and stayed. It's infinitely more expensive now, and it was expensive then.
But
We lived in squalor.
Squalor.
I mean, we lived in a house that my parents had bought to tear down to turn into a spec home to sell or whatever. That was part of my dad's business. But then they started getting divorced in the middle of this process, and so we moved into the house that I thought we were tearing down.
Yeah.
And it was fine. It was my home. But it was...
Do you have any pet mice?
No, you know, I think all the mice were scared off by... We had these giant crickets in the basement. Big old camel crickets, bro. That was most of the extent of the wildlife. I killed a bat. No, I didn't kill it. I saw a black snake in the backyard one time, and I abandoned the lawnmower and went back inside.
Yeah.
I said, he can have this lawnmower. I hope you're cutting this grass because I ain't finna be out here with this.
Not today.
But radically different experience now. And just people get sick of me talking about this so much, but I don't understand why people don't.
Step your bussy up.
They got to step their bussies up about public schools.
Yeah.
George Knapp opens congressional UAP hearing this week. Anna Paulina Luna is sort of spearheading this these whistleblowers and witnesses testifying to Congress about UFOs, UAPs, USOs. We switched to UAP because they can go from space to air to water kind of without losing speed.
Okay.
Is what we're learning. One video, probably the most popular clip from the hearing, I think this was Monday, depicted a UAP, seemed like a plasmoid orb, being hit by a Hellfire missile. And then not only does it really not react, but it starts dragging debris from the missile behind it and doesn't lose any speed.
What?
Doesn't seem damaged by the missile at all. And but it's just thermal aerial, like military footage. So it's not like a super elaborate thing.
But everybody's like, what?
But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Nobody knows what it is. I mean, it looks like it's like squishy and like deflects the missile, but then whatever its means of propulsion are, it starts dragging debris from the missile that just hit it behind it after it is unaffected by the
Debris from the missile.
Yeah, let me show you.
It did hit it. It did hit
the missile hit the thing, but it didn't seem to have any effect. And then there was the UAP is dragging
the missile and the debris.
Just the debris from the missile, I think,
sure.
from whatever was left. Because you're going to see, I'm going to send this to you, and this will be in the clip for sure. That it's going to get hit by a Hellfire missile, and then there's going to be pieces that are left behind by the missile, but they're drug with this craft. I'm sending it to you on TikTok right now.
All right.
It has 3 or 4 fragments of the missile that it drags behind it after it survives being hit by the kind of Hellfire. These are the kind of drone-based missile platforms that Barack Obama used on all those weddings in Yemen and shit. These are destructive missiles, guys, and this UAP seems unaffected.
Congress at UFO hearing. What the hell is that? Wow. Okay. So is this
the
like,
argument
is this
right
in the
now,
atmosphere? Like, what do we look? Is it?
No, that's above the ocean.
Oh, yeah. There it goes. It hits it. And
Yeah.
It doesn't lose speed.
So that's
It's
one
just kind of
drone over it taking the footage, and then a separate drone off camera launches the Hellfire missile, which seems to have no effect on the craft. And this is military footage that they're declassifying because, we're asking people to enlist in the Air Force, but we're not telling them exactly what could happen to them because we're not being transparent about the level of... This is really coming up for half of these whistleblowers is just a safety issue, an operational safety issue. A lot of these people are just people from the field that have witnessed things and then had their, story suppressed or been threatened or, terminated as employees or what have you because they don't play ball with, But George Knapp was a journalist. He's a journalist from Las Vegas who I think originally did a lot of coverage on Richard Nixon back in the day, but then started covering the UAP phenomenon in the late 80s and was one of the first to break Bob Lazar's story. He was the Area 51 whistleblower from back in the day. And so he was actually there, at Congress. Like a lot of the famous people from this conversation were in attendance, but that's the main thing that's emerged is that clip of that UAP being hit by a missile and being fine. Which is scary. When I was a kid, if I shot a Hellfire missile at something, that thing wasn't there anymore. You know what I mean? We used to be a proper nation. New Disney Plus documentary called Echoes catalogs a family's experience of finding a stone on a beach that somehow told them telepathically that someone named Katrina was going to arrive and kill the exact number of people that later died in the Hurricane Katrina. Damn. So I think the story, I didn't watch this yet. I just read about it. That a family is on a beach and they discover a stone and they take the stone. And then they feel like the stone is putting in their brain the idea all at the same time in a very specific way that somebody named Katrina is going to come to where they are and kill like 1,300 people. And the number that they all had in their brain was the exact number of people that months or even years later were killed by Hurricane Katrina.
Well, I mean, like, what did that stone expect them to do? Like, alert.
But I mean, I don't know.
Alert
The stone.
New Orleans.
I don't know that the stone was the writer of the message. The stone
Sure.
could just be the message in a bottle.
Yeah, definitely. It's
It's
a
a
catalyst.
telepathic sandstone.
Okay, so what did the Archangel Michael expect them to do?
That's what I'm thinking. Is maybe not be there when that happened.
Sure. Yeah. Like,
Maybe it was
but
a
did they
warning.
live there? Did they live in New Orleans? Or you haven't seen it, so you don't know. But
No, I haven't seen it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
or was it just some like family in California got?
I
this
think they
message
were
and
in
they're
the
like, all
Gulf. I think it was like Florida or something.
right. Yeah,
But
I'll definitely. Watch
I don't know
it.
what they could have done. But there is something that, adjacent to the UFO conversation and whatnot is this conversation we're talking about of remote viewing, where like the psychics can go look at a place in a specific time. And one of the most prominent remote viewers who did maybe the most professional remote viewing of anybody, sort of helped pioneer the science, says that time is an experience, and that in an objective reality, time is sort of relevant to the space you're talking about at that moment. So what that means, I think, is that...
I'm not seeing it when I look it up.
What are you not seeing?
Echoes.
On Disney Plus? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not out yet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I
I'm
didn't
not
watch
seeing
it.
Anything.
What? You can't find anything
that
about
says,
it?
Anything that says echoes. I'm seeing Hurricane Katrina Race Against Time is like a TV miniseries. Yeah. I mean, nothing called Echoes. Hold on, let me look up Stone. Where did you see this at? Daily Mail?
Yeah. How did you know that?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, because they usually make shit up.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Ooh.
You're trying to find it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, God damn it. Why would they do that?
Because they're.
But it was so detailed.
I don't know. We'll have to.
We have to
come
cut
back.
all of that.
You have to come back. We'll have to come back.
We have to cut the whole last...
I don't know, 5 minutes.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'll be able to find it. It'll pop right up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God. Well, hard reset. Maxwell lawyer exposes secret deal accidentally on air. One of Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers kind of messed up and explained that her being moved to a minimum security work camp dormitory, as opposed to a maximum security prison or something, was a part of her deal for providing testimony to the DOJ for the Epstein investigation. You're not supposed to make a deal like that with this lady, because she's a convicted perjurer and sex offender. She's not even actually, in normal circumstances, qualified to be in the prison that she is now in.
Sure. It's eye-rolling worthy.
Eye-rolling is a nice way to put it.
It's, what else is new?
It really grinds my gears, Lucius. I can't believe the Daily Mail got me with a fake Disney Plus. That's the thing. We got to release the files. I haven't forgotten about how bad DT looks right now, and how the files still ain't out, and how every time we do get more files, there's some shit in there that is scandalous. That means that there's more scandalous shit that we don't know about, because every time we get something, it's something. Every time.
Every time. Every goddamn time.
Every time they give us something, there's something bad in it. And I understand the necessity for the separation of powers and checks and balances, and you got to protect people from being political targets of another branch of government. But America, we have to hear Bill Clinton answer some questions before he's fucking dead. I don't think it. Why does Bill Clinton get to just act like none of this is happening and that he's not implicated at all, even as a character witness for somebody that would be a political opponent of his, right? Bill Clinton could probably find a way to legally ignore a subpoena, but again, this is my therapist would say this is my just world mindset. That's a big point of frustration for me in my life. Is my emotional instinct is to command that the right thing be done, and to demand it, and to not really be happy until I feel like the right thing is being done. It's not reality.
Also, what? Yeah. Okay. So testimony was given. Ghislaine Maxwell, like the reason that they went to talk to her was for the testimonial,
for her testimony about anything she could shed light on about Epstein's activities or Trump's involvement.
Yeah, and they're like, no, she said nothing, and then all of a sudden she's. They
released, I think, the transcript and maybe even the tape of some of the stuff she said, and she's of course very polite about Donald Trump, and
it's so performative.
It's so performative. You can't fucking trust a thing this woman says. She's not loyal to anything.
No,
she's a psychopath. She was raised that way on purpose. Her father was a monster. She was his favorite and the youngest, I believe, and he raised her specifically differently than the other children to be like him, right? And her father was evil. That's not controversial. Robert Maxwell was not a good dude, and he was really only trying to break into American markets before he got killed because he had become so unpopular in England and had stolen millions of dollars from his own employees. So she should not be in a minimum security dormitory that looks like the fucking Hyatt resort from that John Cusack movie, America's Sweethearts, with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes.
And Billy Crystal, Julia Roberts. Masterpiece. One of my favorite films.
Absolutely.
And that's what her fucking new jail looks like. It looks like a nice resort. Like it looks like a summer camp for...
I'm literally rolling my eyes right now.
Like old ladies. It looks like a nice facility where you would park somebody in your family who is disabled or couldn't live on their own. It does not look like a prison.
That she needs to be rotting in.
I think she's probably a fucking spy. She's also a problem. And she did a lot of the collecting of all of the victims. All of the victims say that. Jeffrey didn't pick anybody up in person himself. Jeffrey told his lawyers he mostly stayed home. Who was showing all those girls how to get there? The lady that you just moved to a minimum security dormitory because she gave you a glowing report. But it also seems like judges are afraid to rule against the administration, we'll call it, because they're afraid that the administration will defy their order or have them removed from their post.
Duh. Yeah, exactly. What is this?
And this is suspicious to me. We're putting the National Guard in a lot of our major population centers, especially the left-leaning ones. St. Louis could be on that list.
I was about to say. Just because the railroad...
Barron Trump just moved back into the White House.
Isn't he like 18?
He transferred schools from NYU, where he was going. So now he can go to school in Washington, D.C., where the National Guard is doing all of the policing, to be in the White House. I don't like the optics. What kind of weekend are we going into if Barron Trump... On September 10th... in this country, you're going to announce that your son's moving back into the White House just because after the semester's already started?
That's interesting.
Isn't that creepy? You do that shit in secret, Ted Cruz. You don't let people photograph you at the fucking airport while your state is flooded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's that show, Paradise, maybe, we talked about, where the world is ending, but all the important people... move into a bunker under a mountain, and then the president gets assassinated in the Paradise bunker. Oh, yeah. They're playing in your face. That lady we talked about came on all those podcasts. It was explaining how she thinks the trillions of dollars that are missing from the government budgets are being dumped into secret, illegal underground facilities for the elite ruling class to move into when shit hits the fan.
God damn it. You know what? I believe it.
And I'm going to be stuck up here with you monsters.
Yeah.
Godfrey Daniel.
God free Daniel.
I'm going to be up here teaching children with like a third ear growing out of their face how to read books that we can find in the rubble.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of nice,
We just
actually.
need-
It's a poetic end to an empire.
You know who we need? We need John Wick.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Is he an American citizen?
Yes.
What is the etymology of the name Keanu?
Keanu. I think it means big-winged bird.
Are you making that shit up?
I'm looking it up. It means it's Hawaiian for the cool breeze. More
I'm going to say something controversial.
More specifically, the cool
Hawaii
mountain
is
breeze.
not close to here. Hawaii is not around here anywhere.
And? Keanu. We need John Wick.
I think we need the native and indigenous Hawaiians to be elevated to contribute in their own way to the global economy without us having to colonize them. So we could spy on Indonesia.
Yeah. That's you're all right. You're all right.
God.
You're all right.
Keanu, Hawaiian.
But I don't want him to go around like shooting everybody like John Wick. I just want him to go around just like giving everybody wet willies.
Oh God,
Yeah.
my brother ruined a grown man's life doing a wet willy when we were children.
Really? How? Okay, what?
Clay and I were children, and we spent a lot of time with our aunt and uncle. And they sometimes have family that visit from other places. And they're all lovely. And my brother's an impulsive creature. And one of these particular people has, boundaries for personal space, and they have their own proclivities with their own mental health and things that maybe makes them more sensitive to certain things. And Clay goes up to this gentleman and licks his finger and starts holding it up to this guy's head. And he's going, "Don't you do that. Don't you do that to me. Don't you do it." And everyone starts screaming, "Clay, don't. Do not do that. Don't do it." He goes, "Whip Willie!" And he does it anyway. And it totally compromised that man's feelings about their relationship. You know what I mean? Because he really felt like nobody could protect him from that wet willy.
Yeah.
And if you're a little wound up and you're out of your element and you're at somebody else's house or something and somebody just gives you a fucking wet willy, that would make me want to go home.
Sure. And people are shouting, "Don't you do that.
Don't do it."
Don't
And
do
he
it,
does
Clay."
it.
Oh, man.
And we're children. It's all adults and the two of us.
Don't you do that. That's hilarious. So did he crash out, this old man?
He got really upset, but it's not so much at the time as much as that he's still pretty much the same level as upset about it. This was 20 years ago.
Oh, right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know that my brother has seen him since. I think he avoids my brother when he comes to town. Because he got
Wet willy by a 10-year-old?
Yeah, he got wet willied. I don't even know if he was 10.
That's crazy. You know what? Clay should do it again.
I think the victim in this case has considered that as a possible thing that somebody would think of, and I think maybe that's
That's
part
why
of
he's
why
saying
he
away.
said, "I can't let that happen to me again."
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't get hurt like that twice.
Shame on me.
If I got wet willied at work, I'd call an ambulance.
Yeah.
That would really fuck me up.
That's really the...
It's because the whole thing is not about anything about the actual scientific details of the action. It's everything to do with, I begged him not to do it, and he did it anyway. So
Yeah.
am I even safe here? This is what I always say about people that when I'm really mad, when I'm really upset with somebody, I don't want to really hurt them. I want to restrain them and tickle them until they shit their pants because of the powerlessness that they'll feel.
Yeah.
Because they can't get out. And they know they're only going to shit their pants because I'm tickling them.
You got a tickle monster on you.
Exactly.
I'm tickle monster.
And this is exactly what I was saying about Charlie Kirk.
Uh-huh.
I can't find a clip of Charlie Kirk saying something that I 100% agree with. I can't find him having one of his beloved debates with somebody where I feel like he's treating them with the right amount of respect. But I think at worst, he should have been tickled until he shat.
Sure.
I don't think you could just go around killing people.
No.
And I certainly don't think children should have it in their Instagram feed 90 seconds after it happened.
Yes. Absolutely.
324 defendants charged in $14 billion health insurance scheme.
What's going on here?
Let's find out. What is going on here? We're going to copy. We're going to Control V.
What's going on here on this day?
According to the department, 324 defendants will see charges in 50 federal judicial districts by 12 state attorneys general in California, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Wisconsin. They charge more than 300 people with mostly filing phony claims with Medicare to extort money from the program. Or Medicaid, maybe. Or maybe both.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And not necessarily just local news. I'm sure it includes some of our proud local citizens. But coming up a lot in conversation because of just the overall kind of brokenness and corruption of certain factions adjacent to the medical, especially insurance industry. And I hear people say this, and I don't know the answer. But the problem is we want state-of-the-art healthcare immediately and for free. Because it's possible. But it seems also to be serving kind of... If everybody could get all the healthcare they needed, all of these places would be too busy. And then we'd lose more healthcare professionals. So the magic formula is something about maintaining the level of innovation and R&D and not price gouging normal people for stuff that they need to not immediately start dying. But then it's not helping our case when you're defrauding the government.
No.
This is the problem. You're doing this mixed thing where people have to pay for their own stuff in collaboration with at least one other entity being their insurance provider if there's not also a supplemental provider and all these different things that go on with all of this business. Right? The people can't steal your healthcare dollars if you're paying for everything. If you don't want people to defraud a healthcare coverage provider, single payer is a really airtight solution. You need this. You go here. You get what you need. Don't even worry about the money. I'm going to send them the money without you because you people steal it. When I say you people, I mean the average American is obviously defrauding an insurance company if this is what's happening in 13 states.
Yeah. $14 billion is crazy.
$14 billion across 300 people. But I wonder if that means it's a network of people. Or if that means that it's a bunch of people all doing the same thing that all got caught in the same time.
But like even like 14 billion divided by 324 is like a crazy amount of money. What is that?
It's plenty. I'm not greedy. What are we talking about? How many billion?
14.
14. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 14 million. We'll do another 3. Right?
Yeah, it's 43,209,876.
Okay.
And 50 cents.
So
43
that
million
could
dollars.
mean that these individuals are each responsible for $43 million in fraud.
Mm-hmm.
That's plenty.
That's plenty.
I mean, if none of that, because who knows how long this has been going on. If none of this had happened, maybe the shit wouldn't be all fucked up.
Yeah.
I've been saying that.
Oh, God. Help us.
Help us, Jesus.
Help
and then I'm
us,
scared, because
Jesus.
what if Jesus comes back, but it means we all have to die or something? I don't want to be killed. Is he going to kill me?
My eyes rolling. Oh.
What did they tell you about when he comes back? What's supposed to happen?
I think we get raptured.
But does that hurt?
I don't know. It like hurts in a good way.
It hurts in a good way. I don't have a good history of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have there's certain things I never did that people think I would love to do because I'm afraid it might hurt even in a good way.
Yeah. Like a tattoo.
That's not the first thing I was thinking. But yeah, I hesitated on the tattoo thing for a long time.
Yeah, it hurts in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
hurts.
Oh, and the best thing is if you get your first tattoo and you hobble out of Iron Age and you go across the street and you have a chilled double shot of Grey Goose at Blueberry Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh! Because they tell you not to drink beforehand.
But after.
But afterwards, have a double shot of chilled Grey Goose.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, if the world ends, do I even bother relapsing?
You got them right there for you. Oh, you're talking about
on the alcohol.
You know what?
Cigarettes are not a big deal.
Yeah, well they aren't, but also, I think that's maybe we just like stick to what's good, because alcohol could have been harming the people around you as well.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on because you got to look at quality of life.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Mm-hmm. And nobody wants to smell cigarette smoke.
No, this part of why I haven't opened these.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, where would I do this?
Yeah.
Where am I going to go
Yeah.
with these?
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow night at the Heavy Anchor patio.
Oh, that's a good place for
Blinded
it.
by Stereo tomorrow night at the Heavy Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Audio of this will definitely be out today. Video probably too. It was really easy last week.
Nice.
And Blinded by Stereo for the Tom Blood Jr. EP release is tomorrow.
Tom Blood.
And he's one of the guys from Supercar. And so we're doing a show ski. He's got a special band put together for this set. And then Blinded by Stereo, I think, is opening. It's going to be a really good time. And then what did we say was coming up? Other stuff we talked about.
I'm not sure.
But stay tuned. That'll be on the page. I think the Blinded by Stereo set from Free For All is finally on the Patreon. So if you missed it, if you couldn't come out to a beautiful, perfect weekend of live local St. Louis music, it is on patreon.com/JacobV. And I keep that stuff there. And so if you join the Patreon at any point, you get to go back and see anything we've ever posted there. So it's not like you just get the new stuff. So plenty to catch up on. And not enough of that kind of stuff happening here locally. So I'm trying to get the ball rolling. Some of these kids out here don't even do their own videography.
Ugh.
I mean, you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
What are we at for time?
We're at an hour 3.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect, guys. Have a safe weekend. We love you. We'll see you next week.